Marvel's Avengers is on its deathbed, and it's probably because its player base got straight up Thanos-snapped.
What did it cost?
Everything.
Marvel games have been a mainstay in the fighting and action genres since long before the Marvel Cinematic Universe blockbusters debuted. But because Marvel's Avengers released only about a year and a half after Endgame, it couldn't avoid comparisons to the overwhelmingly successful MCU portrayals of each superhero rather than comparisons to the comics.
You should know, I'm not in the best of moods!
From the very first reveal, Marvel fans were already lambasting the look of Captain America compared to a B-movie version of Chris Evans or a cosplayer wearing military surplus gear.
Your story had the evil sewer.
The sewer lizards, yeah.
Yeah. Thor really got a kick out of that one.
New games tied to enormous franchises don't become successful just from riding on the coattails of name recognition. In the case of Marvel's Avengers, fans criticized fundamental elements of the game, and the issues piled up so high that Marvel's popular heroes couldn't keep people's interest. Not even Spider-Man, an ultimately disappointing PlayStation-exclusive character. Now, developer Crystal Dynamics revealed that not only will the game no longer receive updates after March 2023, all support for Marvel's Avengers will end in September 2023. Players don't know exactly what spurred this decision, but it's easy to see that the game's player base rapidly declined after release. Marvel's Avengers now counts itself among games that lost almost half of their player base within months of release, like Realm Royale, For Honor, and Anthem, according to Steam charts. After setting a peak concurrent player count on Steam of 28,145 users on launch September 4th, 2020, it retained just 1,186 players by December. That's only about 4% of the original player base. So what exactly killed the game?
That was the question.
Now that Marvel's Avengers revealed its own endgame, fans look back on the game that was and consider the game that could have been. There are several fan theories as to why Marvel's Avengers couldn't retain players, and the main complaints can be boiled down to 3 points: a prevalence of glitches, questionable design decisions, and publisher Square Enix and developer Crystal Dynamics' focus on cosmetics. On launch, Marvel's Avengers was nigh unplayable for many excited fans, who were met with infinite loading screens and a host of bugs including gameplay, graphical, and UI glitches. In post-launch updates, most of the game-breaking issues were fixed, but nevertheless, it quickly garnered a reputation for being broken. Another one of the most common complaints against Marvel's Avengers is how bad the designs of the main characters are. When fans got their first look at the game in 2019, the superheroes revealed were considered generic and bland, especially those who compared them to the MCU. But little changed from those first looks to release. These design choices were heavily criticized long before it came out, but even once they got their hands on it, many fans' opinions didn't change. Later into Marvel's Avengers' lifetime, the development team seemed to be exclusively focusing on cosmetics rather than much-needed gameplay updates or a worthwhile storyline. Only a few days before announcing that all support for the game was ending, a cosmetic that simply removed Thor's helmet was sold for $14, in a move that many players considered lazy and even predatory. But that's not a new accusation. Still, that doesn't make it hurt any less. Players who could put up with the bugs and uninspired storyline of Marvel's Avengers couldn't put up with its overwhelming particle effects and repetitive, monotonous gameplay. Fans have particularly pointed out how long it takes to take even a slice of health off of some enemies, as well as how little variety there is in combat in general. There's a lot that contributed to Marvel's Avengers bombing in sales and losing its player base en masse, and it's difficult to pin its downfall on just one cause. Ultimately, it seems that a combination of issues big and small resulted in fans and critics coming to the same consensus and moving on to play other, less disappointing games.